also it may be we can classify it as electrostatics, moving charges I is equal to dq by dt. Just opposite to that phi, that is resistance. Resistance also that can be connected in series and in parallel. Just opposite to that of capacitance. R series is equal to R1 plus R2. R series. That means R suffix S is equal to R1 plus R2 or R3. But R parallel is equal to R1 into R2 into R3 divided by R1 R2 plus R2 R3 plus R1 R3. That is when resistors are connected in parallel. And also another thing is that R is equal to rho L by A. Rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the conductor. That means in your practical also, if you someone want to calculate the resistivity of a wire or something like that, by using a screw gauge or something like that, you are measuring something. That means measuring that area, diameter. Diameter means 2R. 2R is equal to D. That is by using a screw gauge. It is better screw gauge. Vernier okay. But for minute wires etc., screw gauge is an innovator. For something measuring this or something like that, vernier. But for small wires, when the area of cross section is very less, screw gauge is necessary. That is R is equal to rho L by A. Then measuring the length and calculating the area of cross section. Area of cross section, that is in the form of a assume that geometrical shape. Then that area. If it is pi r square, then assume pi r square, substituting the value of pi 22 by 7 or 3.14 something like that. Just converting that r into smaller units, that smaller units into basic units, and including in that bracket and just squaring it, we get the exact value. R is equal to rho L by A, and the units. For example, resistance ohm, capacitance farad, inductance L. Resistance means ohms etc. like that, and potential coulomb, charge means coulomb, like that. And also 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. That means 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square coulomb raised to minus 2. Just in the case of gravitational force, Newton meter square kg raised to minus 2. That is the only difference. Another thing is that, so we have electrostatics. Then on the other side, magnetostatics. Electricity plus magnetism. That means electromagnetic. That means that going to form electromagnetic. We can generate waves. Electromagnetic waves. And also electromagnetic spectrum. Electromagnetic spectrum starting from radio waves. Radio waves having higher the wavelength. When the wavelength increases, frequency decreases. And also we discussed about dispersion. And also reflection, refraction. Refraction is nothing. That means bouncing back. When light is on a particular surface, bouncing back and just reflect. That is known as reflection. That is, it obeys the laws of reflection. Angle I is equal to angle R, and also this normal, this also lies in the same plane. Refraction is that bending of light rays when light travels from one medium to another. With respect to another medium, for example, that depends. Some medium is denser than something. Some medium is rarer. For example, when light travels from vacuum to air, because the refractive index of air is 1.003 something like nearly equal to 1, but actually not 1. The exact value of refractive index with respect to vacuum is 1. That means unity. Unity means 1. That means what is the definition of refractive index? Velocity of light in vacuum divided by velocity of light in the medium. That is the exact value of refractive index. Suppose if glass having refractive index 1.5, that means that 1.5 is greater than 1. Greater than 1 means numerator should be greater than denominator. Then according to our definition, what is refractive index? Refractive index means the velocity of light in vacuum divided by velocity of light in the medium. Velocity of light in vacuum, that is a constant, nearly equal to 2.99 something, but for convenience we are taking 3 into 10 raised to meter per second. That divided by when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, the speed decreases. That is a pointer rule. Speed decreases. Speed means, in the case of vector quantities, that is speed means velocity. Velocity decreases. When you are going through a highway or bypass road etc., there is no traffic log or something, or LDF or UDF or no strike or something like that. When we can, if sufficient petrol is available for us, that means then we can ride very fast, very easily. We can relax, just relax and ride. But in the case of some roads like Srihari, at the time of 3:30, 4:30 or 5:30. Lot of traffic, we cannot relax. If you want to attend a marriage function at the time nearly 6:30, suppose you are the these two persons are the chief guests, then looking at the clock, looking at the clock, looking at the watch, okay, that means the velocity decreases. That means when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, comparing vacuum and air, vacuum is the rarer medium and air is the denser medium. That means three states of matter: gas, liquid, solid. Then moving from gas to liquid, again the velocity decreases. In gas, the atoms, that means one molecule is present there, another molecule is present. The interspacing between that molecules is very large in the case of gas. That is freedom to move. That is why diffusion happens in the gaseous state. Diffusion. That means some sweet flavor or something, some food or something like that easily diffuses. That penetrate or no, like that. But in the case of liquid, no such penetration, but it is better than solid. See, suppose at nearly just before 3:30, the school time actually 3:30, but 3:25, that means near the border. Seats are available, but not so free between 2 and 2:30. It is limited. But after 3:30, you have to stand here and look at the watch or something like that. Some having a knee problem, like that, and putting some equipment and using some source. That means when light travels from, again, air to liquid. Again, air to liquid. Comparing air and liquid, air is the rarer medium and liquid is the denser. And again, if light travels from, see, now this is liquid medium, then solid medium. Solid medium means what? Glass. Glass is a solid. But wood is an opaque object, okay. Glass is a solid. Diamond is a solid. That means the velocity again decreases like that. When velocity is decreasing, the refractive index increases. That means diamond, for example diamond, the refractive index of diamond is 2.4 to something like that. And again, this refractive index is inversely proportional to critical angle in the case of total internal reflection. That is another NE also. So when light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, the velocity decreases, okay, but the refractive index increases. So the basic definition of that is an important area to ask. That means a reflection, based on something like that. State the laws of refraction or something, draw a diagram, angle of incidence, angle of refraction, and angle of emergence. That means like this. Angle of emergence is equal to angle of incidence. These are the same angle. The difference between the lateral displacement. There is if there is no refraction, then the lateral displacement is not available. But refraction, concerning straight lines, there is no refraction. But in inclined plane, there is refraction. Exception is straight, non-inclined plane having no refraction. Again, then light travels from just opposite. That means when light travels from denser medium to rarer medium, there are two laws also. And every surface there is we can draw normals in the case of circle, cylinder, or any surface like that. When light travels from just reverse, denser medium to rarer medium, the refracted ray moves away from the normal. Then another formula to memorize, denser medium to rarer, DR means according to Forest Act, something like that, and law of this Forest Conservation Act, and also some Conservation Act in 1986 or something like that, Wildlife Protection Act in 1972, etc. like that. Deer is not an endangered species animal, but we have to protect deers also. If a person is capturing deer or peacock or something like that, then the forest department may come like Lalwalex or something like that. You are under arrest. I say you are under arrest. Like that. That means be careful. Deer means denser medium to rarer medium. Denser medium to rarer medium. That means denser medium to rarer medium. It will move away from the north. Away. When you are trying to catch a deer, oh deer, oh no, 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 duck, 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 like that. That means it moved away from the normal, away. Oh, deer, what is the speed of a deer? Rabbit and deer, they are having, their running force is very larger than human beings, like Indian bison or something. But only leopard and some lions or some tigers can catch that. But even though deers are more faster than these, even some leopards also. In one jump, like that is deer. Denser to rarer, move away from the normal. Just opposite. Rarer to denser, move towards the normal. That means when light is traveling from diamond to glass, that means rarer to, denser to rare. Then glass to liquid. Denser to rare. Liquid to air. Again deer. Denser to rare. Then air to vacuum. Totally free. In space, there is no such thing, ozone layer or something like that. Electromagnetic rays. The maximum speed is 3 into 10 rays. Total free. No block, road block or something, even not oxygen. That is the importance of optics and electromagnetic. Then dual nature means what? Dual. Dual means two. Sometimes light behaves as particles. Sometimes light behaves as waves. That is a ray optics and wave optics. The principle of reflection, refraction, rectilinear propagation, etc. we can explain based on ray optics. But interference, diffraction, polarization, we can explain this phenomena based on wave optics. At that time, light behaves as waves. Polarization means light having both parts, both the electric field and magnetic field. But when passing these light rays through some polarites or something like that, some portions may be cut off, whether electric field or magnetic field. That is like a filter. These are known as polarites. Polarization, that is some area, a bias, small bias. Normally unpolarized light. So polarization is another character of light. Like the velocity of light is a constant, 3 into 10 raised to the reflection, refraction, rectilinear propagation, etc. And even dispersion, you can also explain based on the ray optics. And also wave optics, diffraction, interference, polarization, we can explain based on, and Young's double slit experiment, constructive, destructive interference, we can explain based on wave optics. Here the wave nature is manifest. And also concerning nuclear physics, that is also atomic and nuclear physics. Atom, until 1897, some persons, most persons, even scientists, they are thinking like that, atoms are indivisible. But after the discovery of electrons by J.J. Thomson in 1897, that theory, that is, there is that theory, that outtake. Now we can say that atoms are divisible. It consists of a central part known as nucleus. Inside the nucleus there is protons, P plus N. P plus N constitute mass number. Total number of protons and total number of neutrons constitute mass number. Mass number is equal to number of protons plus number of neutrons. And also number of protons is equal to atomic number is equal to number of electrons. Total number of electrons in all shells, both KL, M and N. In chemistry you studied about KL, M and L, something like that. In the first cell, S. Second cell, S and P. Third cell, S plus P plus D. Then SP, DF. In the fourth cell, both SP, DF, sub shells. Don't bother about that. Then sometimes light behaves as waves, sometimes light behaves as particles. Then another important question is de Broglie wavelength. Lambda is equal to H divided by P. Lambda is equal to H divided by P. What is H? H is a Planck's constant. H is what is known as Planck's constant. Planck's constant makes it say that it is H. P is momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Here these electrons can also be considered as a wave. So lambda, H is equal to lambda divided by P. H is so lambda divided by P. H is a Planck's constant. So de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to H divided by P. Correct. Lambda is equal to H divided by P. Where H is a Planck's constant, P is a momentum, lambda is the wavelength associated with it. So just substitute in that equation in the case of P, substitute as mass into velocity. And also mass is a scalar quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Weight is also a vector in the first year. Plus 1. Weight is a vector quantity because weight consists of F. F is equal to M into G. G is a vector quantity, acceleration due to gravity. Mass is a scalar quantity. Mass is not a vector quantity, mass is a scalar quantity. But the combination of mass into M into G or M into A, acceleration is a vector quantity. M into G. Upward and downward motion, A changes into G. As in entrance squatting or something like that. Then change A into G. That is MA is equal to mg. Mg, that product F is a vector quantity. But mass is a scalar quantity. So lambda is equal to H divided by P. P consists of mass into velocity. Mass is a scalar quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. H is a constant. The unit of lambda means length, wavelength, full length. One cross. That means it is defined, the unit is defined in terms of meter. Lambda is equal to meter. But in some cases it is micrometer, nanometer or something like that. Again, Armstrong, that is 1 Armstrong is 1 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Suppose in a problem it is written at 2 Armstrong or something like that, you have to convert it to SI unit. That means 2 into 10 raised to minus 10 meter. Then if there is a square, 10 raised to 10 should be included in that bracket also. So 10 raised to minus 10, suppose 10 raised to minus 10 square means if A into B the whole raised to M is equal to A raised to M into B raised to M. That means 10 raised to minus 2 the whole square. Again A raised to M the whole raised to M. That means 10 raised to minus 10 the whole square. 10 into 2, 20. That means 10 raised to minus 20. 10 raised to minus 20 going to the numerator. That means 10 raised to 20. Again, if there is 10 raised to minus 19, 10 raised to 20. That means cancel it. 10 times. That is 10 raised to 1 on the upper side. That is why we are saying that there is no need to use calculator or something like that. Simple mathematical calculation. But it looks like a mountain. But
you know, when God spoke on earth in Mount Sinai, God can
converting into basic units and applying in that equation, lambda is equal to h divided by 2 or something like that. That can, it's very easy to cancel. No need to use calculator. And also final units also. Then nuclear physics. Nuclear physics having its own contribution in even astrophysics also. For example, in neutron stars, nuclear fission, nuclear fusion also. What is nuclear fission? Fission means division. Fission means division. When uranium is bombarded with a neutron, barium, krypton and 3 neutrons plus sufficient of energy, that is known as nuclear fission. That means here uranium is split into barium, krypton and 3 neutrons. Then we at the same time we can balance the mass numbers and atomic numbers on the reactant side and product side. You studied it, that is why I go in this way. Please verify that the mass numbers and atomic side on both sides of the reactant side and the product side, they should be conserved. That you have to verify. Then plus sufficient amount of energy. But in the case of nuclear fusion, fuse means combine. For example, fuse. This is known as fuse. Means combine. Just applying some bread, like a bread and jam or something like that. Just to combine. What is marriage? Marriage is combining. Combine. But splitting is dividing. Here uranium is, fission is just opposite. See, after attaining maturity or something, one daughter and 2 sons or 2 daughters or 1 son, they are saying that father and mother, we are going to that direction. My sister is going to that direction and that brother is going to that direction. So, the total children of father and mother is equal to this daughter in that direction plus this son in this direction plus that daughter in this direction plus their contributions. Their skill, their mimicry, their singing, their drawing, their YouTube videos, etc. That means energy. In the case of fission, it is energy. But in the case of fusion, that means many lighter nuclei combine to form heavier nucleus. That is happening in sun and stars, etc. That is, hydrogen is converted into helium with a sufficient amount of energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. Among them, only visible light is visible, but ultraviolet. Ultraviolet means higher the frequency, but infrared means gives a heating effect. It is also invisible, it gives a heating effect. Infrared photography applications. We can use infrared cameras and to detect the robbers and dacoits, etc. They want to see if some persons want to attack another person's house and installing a CCTV camera or infrared camera, and that person, trespassers will be prosecuted. That means a important notice. Do not trespass, trespassers may be prosecuted. That CCTV infrared camera is watching that person. Which time, what is the time, place, location, event, etc. In the case of physics, space, time, events, motion, these are very important. It is the study of space and time also. According to Albert Einstein, that is relative. If a body or something can travel, don't bother about that, but you will study in degree level. Nearly equal to the velocity of light, then the mass increment, etc. and the time dilation, length of contraction. Don't bother about that. At that time you may study that m is equal to m0 divided by 1 minus c square by c square. That means
നമുക്ക് പുള്ളിങ് ഡൊണസ്റ്റോൺസ് ആശീർവാദം പറഞ്ഞ് ഫോർത്ത് ഡിവിഷൻ കാൽബട്ടി ബ്ലസ്സിങ് പറഞ്ഞ് മീറ്റിംഗ് അവസാനിപ്പിക്കേണ്ട സമയമായി. പിന്നെ അതോടുകൂടി പ്രേക്ഷകർ മറ്റൊരു കാര്യം കൂടെ ഞാൻ പ്രേക്ഷകർ ഓർപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ലൈവായിട്ടൊരു ആൻറ്റി ഇസ്ലാമിക് മീറ്റിംഗ് നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പറ്റുവാണെങ്കിൽ അതും കൂടെ പ്രേക്ഷകർ ഒന്ന് കാണുന്നത് നല്ലതാണ്.
The family members of the Yazid, his family. അതായത് ഉമയ്യാദ് ഡൈനാസ്റ്റിയിലുള്ള ഒരു വിഷം കൊടുത്ത് കൊന്നു. കൊല്ലാനുള്ള കാരണം അവരുടെ ആ സുന്ന അതുവരെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്ന ചര്യ മാറ്റിയത് കൊണ്ടാണ്. ആ സുന്നയിൽ ഒന്നാണ് അലിയെ ശപിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത്. So he was being poisoned and the reason for poisoning was because he tried to change the sunnah, the tradition that they used to follow.
Please go to the video and listen to that video.
ഇതും ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ പുസ്തകത്തിൽ തന്നെ സുന്നി ബുക്കാണ്. അത് ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഓഫ് ദ സാർസൻസ് ബൈ അമീർ അലി. അതിന്റെ ചാപ്റ്റർ 10 പേജ് 126 127 തന്നെയാണ് ഇതും. ഹിസ്റ്ററി ഓഫ് ദ സാർസൻസ് ബൈ അമീർ അലി. യു കൻ സീ ദാറ്റ് in these pages you can see these references being mentioned there. AD 847 മുതൽ 861 വരെ ഖലീഫയായിരുന്ന ഖലീഫ മുതവക്കിൽ ഇമാം ഹുസൈൻ ബിൻ അലിയുടെ ശ്മശാനം ഉഴുതുമറിക്കുകയും അവിടേക്ക് വെള്ളം തിരിച്ചുവിട്ട് മുഹമ്മദിന്റെ ഈ പേരക്കുട്ടിയുടെ സ്മരണ പോലും ആളുകളുടെ ഇടയിൽ നിന്ന് തുടച്ചു മാറ്റാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചതായിട്ട് ഷിയാക്കളുടെ ചരിത്രത്തിൽ. Traditions you can see that in AD 847 there was been water that is been transferred towards the graveyard of the grandchildren of Muhammad. That's what they have done. എന്തായാലും എന്റെ കരളിന്റെ കഷ്ണമാണ് ഫാത്തിമ എന്ന് മുഹമ്മദ് ആരെ കുറിച്ച് പറഞ്ഞോ ആ ഫാത്തിമയെയും അവളുടെ ഭർത്താവിനെയും അവളുടെ മക്കളെയും യാതൊരു ദയയുമില്ലാതെ വാളിനിരയാക്കുന്നതിൽ ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ സമാധാന മതക്കാരുടെ മുൻ തലമുറക്കാർ വളരെ ഉത്സാഹം കാണിച്ചു. So Muhammad used to say that Fatima is one of the most dearest to me, and Muhammad's own son-in-law, his grandchildren, they were all being killed by the people who are of the religion of the peace. ഇങ്ങനെ തങ്ങളിൽ തന്നെ സമാധാനമില്ലാതെ തങ്ങളുടെ കൂട്ടത്തിലുള്ളവരോടോ അവരുടെ ശവശരീരത്തോടോ സമാധാനം കാണിക്കാതെ, എന്തിന് തങ്ങളുടെ നേതാവിന്റെ കുടുംബത്തിലെ ഒരു കുഞ്ഞിനോട് പോലും സമാധാനം കാണിക്കാൻ കഴിയാതെ വണ്ണം അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കുടുംബത്തെ ഭൂമിയിൽ നിന്ന് ഉന്മൂലനം ചെയ്തവരുടെ അനന്തരഗാമികളാണ് ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ അടുത്ത് സമാധാനം. ഇസ്ലാം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ സമാധാനം എന്നാണെന്നും പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത്. These are the people who are coming to us and saying that Islam is religion, when their history and their prophet's history and the people who killed their own prophets' grandchildren and their own prophet's daughter and so on and so forth, these are the people who have such a history are coming to us and saying that Islam basically means that it is peace. ഇസ്ലാമിനെ പറ്റി അറിവില്ലാത്ത ആളുകൾ അതിൽ വീണയ്ക്കാം. പക്ഷെ ഇസ്ലാമിക ചരിത്രത്തിൽ അറിവുള്ള ഏതൊരുത്തനും ഈ കനി മനസ്സിലാക്കി അതിനെ പൊതുജന മധ്യത്തിൽ എക്സ്പോസ് ചെയ്യാം.
Somebody who has no idea about Islam may fall for these kind of traps that Islam means peace. But those who know about the history of Islam, they have a basic responsibility over them to expose this particular history in front of the world.
വാസ്തവത്തിൽ സമാധാനത്തിന്റെ മുഖംമൂടി ധരിപ്പിച്ച് പൊതുജന മധ്യത്തിൽ ഇസ്ലാമിനെ അവതരിപ്പിക്കാനുള്ള ഈ ദാവാപ്രസംഗരുടെ ശ്രമം കാണുമ്പോൾ ഓർമ്മ വരുന്നത് വെള്ള തേച്ച ശവക്കല്ലറകൾ എന്ന കർത്താവിന്റെ പദപ്രയോഗം.
When we see these people who are trying to present Islam as a peaceful religion, we are reminded of what our Lord and Savior called to those people, those white, when Jesus is calling to those people, you whitewashed tombs.
സമാധാനത്തിന്റെ ആ മുഖംമൂടി നമ്മൾ വലിച്ചു മാറ്റിയാൽ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ കഴിയുന്നത് ആകെ ചീഞ്ഞു നാറുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്.
When we rip off this face mask of this peace from them, you can see that they have a history which is very foul and which is very much disgusting and smelly.
എന്തായാലും നമുക്ക് ആശീർവാദം പറഞ്ഞ് മീറ്റിംഗ് അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാം. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് പ്രേക്ഷകർ ട്രൂത്ത് ഫൈറ്റേഴ്സ് ചാനൽ പോവുക, സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക, ഈ വീഡിയോസൊക്കെ കാണുക, ആൻറ്റി ഇസ്ലാമിക്കായി മാറുക, ആൻറ്റി പിണറായി ജേണിസ്റ്റായിട്ട് മാറുക, ചിന്തിക്കുക, നമ്മൾ ഡിസിഷൻ എടുക്കുക എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥം. എന്നിട്ട് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക, റൈറ്റ് ബിലീഫ് ഫോളോ ചെയ്ത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക, ജീവിക്കുക. ഫോർ ബദൻ യുവൻ കാണ്ടർ ലിബർട്ടി, നമ്മെ അടിമത്തിൽ കൂടി പോരുത്. നമുക്കിനി ആശീർവാദം പറഞ്ഞ് യോഗം അവസാനിപ്പിക്കാം. യൂദയുടെ ലേഖനം വായിക്കുമ്പോൾ, നൗ അൺ ടു ഹിം ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഏബിൾ ടു കീപ്പ് യു ഫ്രം ഫാളിങ് ആൻഡ് ടു പ്രസൻറ്റ് യു ഫാൾട്ട്ലെസ് ബിഫോർ ദ പ്രസൻസ് ഓഫ് ഹിസ് ഗ്ലോറി ടു എക്സീഡിങ് ജോയ്, വീഴാതൊണ്ണം നിങ്ങളെ സൂക്ഷിച്ച തൻ്റെ മഹിമാസന്നിധിയിൽ കളങ്കമില്ലാത്തൊരു ആനന്ദത്തോടെ നിർത്തുവാൻ ശക്തിയുള്ളവന്, अब जो तुम्हें डॉकर गाने से बजा सकता है और अपनी महिमा की भरपूरी के सामने मगन और निर्दोष करके खड़ा कर सकता है, टू द ओनली वाइस गॉड और सेवियर बी ग्लोरी एंड मजस्टी പുള്ളിംഗ് ഡോൺ സ്ട്രോങ് ഹോൾസ്, നാം ഇനി അടിമത്തിൽ കുടിയും പോരുത്, അസ്രി പീസ് ഡൊമിനിയൻ ആൻഡ് ഫോർ ബോത്ത് നൗ ആൻഡ് എവർ ആമേൻ എക്സീഡിങ്. നമ്മുടെ കർത്താവായ യേശുക്രിസ്തു മുഖാന്തരം നമ്മുടെ രക്ഷിതാവായ ഫോർ ബദൻ യുവൻ കാൾഡർ ലിബർട്ടി, നമ്മുടെ കർത്താവ് യേശുക്രിസ്തു മുഖാന്തരം നമ്മുടെ രക്ഷിതാവ് ഏകദൈവത്തിന് സർവ്വകാലത്തിനും ഇപ്പോഴും സദാകാലത്തോളം തേജസ്സും മഹിമയും ബലവും അധികാരം ഉണ്ടാവറട്ടെ में एक्सीडिंग उस अद्वैत परमेश्वर हमारे उद्धारकर्ता की महिमा और गौरव एक्सीडिंग जो एग्रेज लॉर्ड ऑफ पीस फोर बुधन यून कालबटी और पराक्रम और अधिकार हमारे प्रभु यीशु मसीह के द्वारा जैसा सनातन काल से है अब भी हो और युगायुग रहे हमें एक्सीडिंग പുള്ളിംഗ് ടോണം. നാം ഇനി അടിമത്തിൽ കുടുങ്ങി പോരുത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി അടുത്ത മീറ്റിങ്ങിൽ കാണുന്നവരെ ദയപോയി ഇതാവുന്നു. ഇനി അടുത്ത വീഡിയോയിൽ കാണുന്നതുവരെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അടുത്ത വീഡിയോയിൽ കാണുന്നവരെ എല്ലാവർക്കും ഹാവ് എ നൈസ് ഡേ ബൈ ദ ഗ്രേസ് ഓഫ് അവർ വൺ ലോർഡ് ജീസസ് ക്രൈസ്റ്റ്. എൻജോയ് അവർ ലൈഫ്. അപ്പോൾ എന്തായിരുന്നാലും ക്രിസ്ത്യേശു ധാരാളമായി ആ ബ്ലെസ്സിങ്സ് നൽകി നമ്മളെ ഫ്രീ ആയിട്ട് അനുഗ്രഹിക്കുമാറാട്ടെ. പുള്ളിംഗ് ടോണം. തികഞ്ഞ സ്നേഹം ഭയത്തെ പുറത്താക്കുന്നു. നോ ദൈവം കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ്റെ ദൈവമല്ല ഓട്ടോ പീസ്. തികഞ്ഞ സ്നേഹം ഭയത്തെ പുറത്താക്കുന്നു.